Hi, and welcome to another video from wptoolkit.com. Today I want to take a look at what is unquestionably one of the most important aspects of any online business, and something that's far too often ignored by webmasters: lead generation. And more specifically, how you can quickly and easily increase the number of email opt-ins you get by 300 to 400% with a very simple change to how you entice people to opt into your email list. Email marketing makes up a large proportion of my online business income, and I've tried and tested a lot of tools and plugins to help generate the maximum number of leads possible for my blogs over the last few years. Now, the one that produces the best results for me by far is called Bloom. It is a paid plugin and costs $69 per year for unlimited sites, but in a moment I'll tell you how you can get it for free. First, let's have a look through how this plugin makes it super easy to generate more leads from your existing visitors. Once you've installed the plugin, the first thing you'll need to do is scroll down and under Bloom, go to email accounts and integrate the plugin with your email autoresponder, whichever system you use. I'm using Aweber here, but it integrates with MailChimp, Campaign Monitor, Constant Contact, MailPoet, GetResponse, Infusionsoft, iContact, Ontraport, and several others. So you should be covered whichever system you're using for your autoresponder system. It should be able to integrate with that automatically. You just need to authorize it so that it can pick up those lists for you when you're setting up your new opt-ins. Now you'll notice I've already got some opt-in forms added to this test site, and you'll notice the number of impressions to the conversion rates aren't great. That's because most of these impressions have been me checking the opt-ins themselves to see how they look and how they fit in with the theme and the individual pages and things like that. Okay, so you should be getting conversion rates of this or higher. It will vary how well each one converts according to the type. For instance, pop-ups do tend to convert better than, for instance, the sidebar widget, which is usually the least converting because it's just static and sits there. So what you need to do is test different opt-ins out to see what results you get, and to help you with that, there is an option to have an A/B split test, so you can tweak individual opt-in forms to work out what works best for your visitors, and that can be down to an individual post or page as well as individual opt-in forms. Now what I'm going to do is run through and create a new opt-in to show you just how easy it is and how much flexibility and control you have. And as we go through, I will share with you that secret that I discovered recently for how you can boost your opt-in conversions by 200, 300, even 400% to get the most opt-ins possible. So let's start with adding a new opt-in, and it will bring up the different types of opt-ins that we have available first of all, which include a pop-up, a fly-in, a below post opt-in, an inline post opt-in or page, locked content opt-in, and a widget opt-in. And I'll show you examples of these on my test site in a moment or two. Now it is also worth noting that these are pretty much ordered in the order of which they are most useful, that they convert best in. So pop-ups tend to get the most conversions, then fly-ins, then below your post, then inline, then lock content, and then widget last of all. Now that is very useful for you to decide what order to prioritize setting up pop-ups or setting up opt-in forms in. However, I would say that having a newsletter or opt-in of some sort in your widget, in your sidebar, should be a priority because it's probably going to be the most seen opt-in on your blog. And if someone is actually looking for how to opt into your list, to your newsletter, whatever, it's always going to be there. So they're going to be able to find a way to opt in if that's specifically what they're looking to do. Okay, so let's choose pop-up and go through to the next page, which is where I'm now going to give it a name. Let's call this one video pop-up. I tend to name them by what the offer is about and what type of pop-up it is, or type of opt-in it is. You don't really need to do that because there is a little icon next to each one on that home page so you can see what it is. I just like that to make it simpler. Okay, then we're going to choose our autoresponder. I've got Aweber integrated here. Then I'm going to choose which account, and then it brings up the lists, and I'm going to go through and choose the relevant list from the list, or the relevant autoresponder from the list, which in this case is my IM video one, because this is going to be about videos. So let's click on Design Your Opt-in to go to the stage of choosing which design format we want to work with. And as you can see, there's quite a variety of pre-built designs for you to play with. I haven't actually counted them up, but I suspect there's well over 100 here, all sorts of colors available. So let's go with the one I want. I'm going to go with this one, and let's choose Next for Customize, so I can then go through and set up the text, the image, etc. In order to keep things quick, I'm going to pause the video while I quickly go through and pop in the relevant bits of information. Then I'll show you what I've done. Okay, so I've copied and pasted in my title and formatted it by changing the text color and bolding it and centering it. And if we scroll down, I've pasted in my opt-in message, which is a bit about the free report that I'm giving away. You can choose where the image appears in relation to the text. There is a default image for each form, but I've uploaded my own image, which is relevant to this particular offer. Obviously, using your own pre-made graphics and designs that are specific to this offer will get you better conversions. You can also decide on what kind of animation the actual image has, so whether it slides up, zooms in, flips, bounces, whatever it may be, and those really can help to catch people's attention. You can then choose the background color, the text, the color for the text, the type of font, all that sort of information. Let's scroll down, the name for the email field, whether you want to display a name field or not. I don't tend to do that, but you can ask people for their name as well. The button text, the default is subscribe, I believe. I prefer to use something a bit more positive, such as yes please or count me in. I found with testing that actually gets better results because it's more positive. You have more options on the form styling and the bottom edge for the form. Let's go with something slightly different to just the flat one. Then you have some form footer text that you can put in. So I put an extra push there to try and get people to take action. And the success message. Now this you do want to put something in, and I highly recommend letting them know that they need to check their inbox for the welcome email and download details so they know where to go and check for that email. It also makes it clear to them that if they've used a fake email address, they're not going to get the download. Okay, so those are all the settings. There are quite a few different options available there for the form. Now let's go on to the actual display settings themselves so we can choose how this appears on our pages, posts, etc. On the last page, we chose the animation style for the picture or the image itself within the opt-in form. Now we're going to choose the animation style for the opt-in form itself. And again, we've got all the different options available. So I'll go with swing, so it swings in. Then we can decide what's going to trigger this particular opt-in form, which is a pop-up. I can have it as a time delay. I can have it after a certain amount of inactivity, a number of seconds. I can have it triggered at the bottom of the post, which is what I'm going to have in this case, or after scrolling a certain percentage of the way down the post. I can also hide the forms from mobile devices, so anybody on a mobile device isn't going to be seeing that because they can be quite intrusive and cover the whole page on a mobile device. They are responsive, so that they won't cover everything, but they can get in the way. So if you want to make your mobile users have a better experience, you can switch them off. You can also decide to only display it a certain number of times, so let's say on a daily basis or every 7 days, something like that, again so that your regular visitors aren't having that in their face all the while. I'm not going to switch that on because I want it on all the while for testing so I can show you in the video, but I'd highly recommend using that so you don't irritate people too much. Okay, display on posts, pages, basically any type of content. You can choose where it's going to display. Mostly I put it on posts and occasionally pages, although I'll often use an inline opt-in for a page instead of a pop-up. You can also choose which categories it's going to be displayed on. So you can specify just one or more category or have it on all of them. And here's the really, really important bit. Display on these pages. Now if I click on this, in fact rather than pages I will go with posts. Posts is even more powerful. You can choose which posts not to display it on or which posts to specifically display it on. Now this opt-in is specifically about videos. So I'm going to choose the posts, in fact the one down here, funny videos. I've got a voting group called funny videos, so I'm going to specifically choose that. Have I got any other posts that are relevant? Don't think I've got any other video ones. Let's stick it on copy and paste and niche Reaper as well. Now basically what I'm doing here is targeting this particular opt-in, this particular offer at specific posts. Now this is a brilliant way of increasing your conversions, increasing your opt-ins, because if someone is reading a post, let's say about getting backlinks, and the pop-up or opt-in that they see is about getting backlinks, a free report on the best top 10 ways of getting backlinks, best places to get backlinks from, something like that, it is directly relevant to the post that they're reading. So they are far more likely to be interested in it and therefore to opt in. Okay, that alone will make a massive difference to the number of opt-ins you get. It can increase it, as I said earlier, easily by 3 or 4 times. So that can make a huge difference to the number of leads you generate. Okay, let's click on save and exit, and that pop-up is now set up and appears in our list here, video pop-up. So you can see from how quickly and easily I set up that new opt-in form that it is really a no-brainer. You don't need to be a technical expert to get these set up, but you do have a level of control and flexibility that is amazing. You know, there's so many ways in which you can change how a pop-up or how an opt-in appears, where it appears, to target specifically to posts, categories, pages, whatever you need. It really does give you total control of your lead generation from your site. Now, before we actually have a look at a couple of examples, there are 2 other bits that I want to mention. There is a page for statistics, which will show you how each of your opt-ins are converting, so you can tweak them and test them. And again, as I mentioned earlier, you have A/B split testing available as well. There is also the option for import or export. So once you've gone through and set up all these different opt-ins that you like on one blog, if you have more blogs, you can export the settings and import them to those other blogs. That alone can save a massive amount of time if you run more than one site or if you look after sites for clients. And yes, you do get developer rights with the plugin. Now let's go across to the site and actually have a look at some examples. Now 2 have actually popped up there straight away, probably because I've been inactive for a little while. Okay, first of all, let's scroll down and you can see here is the widget. So this is one of the opt-ins that I've already set up and put it into my sidebar. That will appear on my sidebar across my whole of my site, wherever my sidebar is. Okay, now if we scroll on down, let's choose a post to go and have a look at. Let's choose this one, and once it comes up, it'll take a second or 2. My site's running slow. Now as I scroll down, we'll have in a moment or 2, when we get to the bottom, we've got this one, which is the inline form. So this I've set up to appear at the bottom of every post. And then we've also got, because I've got to the bottom of the post, I've got another pop-up that's come in, and that was the swing one that I've just set up, and you've seen me set it up, so that's already working. And we also had a fly-in one. I think I've also got that set up to appear when I get to the bottom of a post. This is why you want to tweak the settings, because I've just had 3 hit me in the face at the same time. So perhaps I want to switch off the fly-in on this one, or maybe have the pop-up appear when I get 50% of the scrolling down the page or something like that. So you can vary how the different pop-ups or the different opt-ins are triggered, but you can see how you can get those different offers in front of visitors in multiple ways to give you the best chance of getting an opt-in and building your leads, so you've got that email list that you can rely on to generate more income for your online business. Now here's the really good news. We've been able to take advantage of the licensing for Bloom to include it in the WP Toolkit membership. So our users get the latest version included in the membership, including developer rights at no extra cost. And that's just one of the dozens of premium plugins and hundreds of premium themes included in WP Toolkit, along with hundreds of video tutorials covering all aspects of setting up and using WordPress and running an on-site blog, making it a true one-stop shop and resources membership for any WordPress blogger. Check it out for yourself to see how you can benefit from a WP Toolkit membership. And thanks for watching.